example 1b, we have a function and we're asked to find the stationary and singular points answering as coordinates. So we're focused on the stationary and singular points, both of which require us to examine the derivative. So let's find the derivative. We already had a 3 out front, and now we're focused on using the chain rule, or specifically the generalized power rule, to take the derivative of an x trapped inside parentheses to an exponent. So first the exponent of 2/3 comes out front. The parentheses stay the same, and we subtract 1 from the exponent. Of course, since it's a fraction, we use our disguised form of 3/3, which is still the value of 1, to get a negative 1/3 exponent. And then we take the derivative of the inside, which in this case was just 1. So we actually could have missed it and not known. So now we need to clean this up. The 3's will cancel, since that first purple 3 is technically in a numerator and the orange 3 is in a denominator. So this orange 2 is really the only piece that's going to stay in a numerator. I mean 2 times 1, but we just see the 2. Since our parenthesis set is to a negative exponent, it goes to the denominator to have a positive exponent. So now we're ready to find the stationary points. This is where the derivative equals 0. So we take our derivative, 2 over the quantity x minus 1 to the 1/3 power, and set this equal to 0. But remember, 0 comes from a fraction where 0 is on the numerator and anything is on the denominator. So we're focused on 2 equals 0, but 2 is never 0. 2 is always 2. So we have no stationary points for this function. Next, we want to look at the singular points where the first derivative is undefined. And I'm saying first derivative because it's going to mean something more later, but I should just be saying derivative. So again, we take our derivative, and when we set it equal to undefined, it's really any fraction over 0 is an undefined fraction. So we're focused on the denominator equaling 0. When does this denominator equal 0? So since it was to the 1/3 power, this kind of looks like times 1/3, sorry for my sloppy handwriting. To solve for x, we can't leave it in a parenthesis, so what we need to do is cube both sides of the equation, and it's this cubing that allows us to set the binomial out of the parentheses, and then we can solve for x so that we have x equals positive 1. Because we'll be answering in coordinates, we need to go back to the original function and find f of 1 for the function that does not have a fraction, because it's not the derivative. So where the x is, I'm going to put a 1, and I really have 3 times 0 to the 2/3, which is just a total of 0. So I'm ready to answer the question. I'm going to list both the stationary and singular points. We've already stated that there are no stationary points, but we do not leave it blank. We'll go ahead and write none. Don't write 0, 0, that's a point, and we don't have a point. And for the singular, we found an x and a y value that we will answer as coordinates of 1, 0.